What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another verse of the day video. Today is what is today? Today is the 30th of July, 2025. And today the passage is going to come from Luke chapter 8, starting in verse 26. And this is day 3 of doing this. So like I said in the last video, I will try to stay as consistent as I can with this. Some days may be missed due to just busyness with life and all that, but I will try to stay as consistent as I can. So let's get started. Luke chapter 8 verse 26. My heading says, "The demon-possessed man cured." Then they sailed to the country of the Gerasenes. Nope, I totally butchered that. Gerasenes, which is opposite Galilee. And when he stepped out onto the land, a man from the city met him who was possessed with demons. And he had not put on clothing for a long time, and was not living in a house, but among the tombs. And seeing Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him, and said with a loud voice, "What business do you have with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you not to torment me." For he had already commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For it had seized him many times, and he was bound with chains and shackles, and kept under guard, and yet he would break the restraints and be driven by the demon into the desert. So we see there that he had like superhuman strength. For it had seized him many times. So Luke is saying that the unclean spirit had seized the man, not Jesus, had seized him many times, and he was bound with chains and shackles and kept under guard. Yet he would break the restraints and be driven by the demon into the desert. So he was crazy. Not he, but the demon was demonic. What a coincidence. And powerful in the human sense, or in the physical sense. Verse 30. And Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Legion," because many demons had entered him. And they were begging him not to command them to go away into the abyss. Verse 32. Now there was a herd of many pigs feeding there on the mountain, and the demons begged him to permit them to enter the pigs, and he gave them permission. And the demons came out of the man and entered the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and was drowned. And now when the herdsmen saw what had happened, they ran away and reported everything in the city and in the country. And the people came out to see what had happened. And they came to Jesus and found the man from whom the demons had gone out, sitting down at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. This is the guy who was possessed. And they became frightened. Those who had seen everything reported to them how the man who had been demon-possessed had been made well. And all the people of the territory of Gerasene, the name of the place, and the surrounding region asked him to leave them. They were asking Jesus to leave them because they were overwhelmed by great fear. And he got into the boat and returned. But the man from whom the demons had gone out was begging him that he might accompany him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, "Return to your home and describe what great things God has done for you." So he went away proclaiming throughout the city what great things Jesus had done for him. So we see in this passage, which is a lot of verses, 26 through 39, that first, what did Jesus do? Let's go back. So first, the demons know who Jesus is, and they are saying, they're even calling Jesus the Son of the Most High God. And then Jesus asks them a question. What is your name? And they said Legion. And many demons that enter this man. And then they're begging Jesus. They're begging him because they know of his power. They know who Jesus is. He's the Son of God. And these demons, who were once angels, know who Jesus is because Jesus has always been. And God created the angels. So they know exactly who Jesus is, and they know his power, which is infinite. They begged him to not send them away into the abyss. And then Jesus was like, okay, I permit you to not be sent into the abyss, but I will send you into the pigs. So chuck them into the pigs. And then they rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died. They drowned. The pigs drowned. And then we see that people came and saw and reported to the city everything that had happened. Because people, when they see something like this, tend to be a little scared and afraid, because it's like, what the heck just happened? Why? Like, what? We just saw a dude who has been roaming around, breaking out of chains, doing all this crazy stuff, just like freed from all demons and stuff, and all this craziness, and now he's like suddenly in his right mind, and some random guy kind of just walked up and sent demons into pigs, and then they ran down the hill and drowned. What the heck just happened? And then they ask that Jesus would leave them out of fear. And then we see something very important, which is the man first asks Jesus, this is the dude saying, can I join you? Basically, can I join you in your ministry? Can I follow after you? He wants to accompany Jesus. But then Jesus sent the man away. But he didn't just leave him be, He said, return to your home and describe what great things God has done for you. So he even says, in this very passage, I am God. That is what he says. Jesus says, I am God. Return to your home and describe what great things God has done for you. So go and give what is that word? Testimony. Go and give your testimony of what God has done for you, what God has freed you from. So then, what does he do? He doesn't just say that. The man then takes the information of what Jesus said to him, and then he goes away, like Jesus said, proclaiming throughout the city what great things Jesus had done for him. So Jesus says for him to do something, to go give a testimony to the people, the city, to go home. You don't need to follow me right now. Follow my teachings, but you don't need to follow specifically me physically right now. But instead, I've given you a testimony for you to testify of to your city. So now go and take that testimony, testify to the people of what I have done for you. Yeah. And then the next thing that we see, and I know this video is already 10 minutes long, I'm going to try and keep it short, is the next thing, the next, story after this is called The Miracles of Healing, is my heading. And there's two different things in here. I'm only going to go over one. And it's when Jesus healed the lady who had what they call the blood problem. And she touches the edge of Jesus's garment. And then Jesus is like, whoa, what the heck just happened, man? I feel power has left me. What just happened? And then he says, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. And I'm sure she as well went and said, yo guys, this dude Jesus, who I just walked up to and touched the edge of his garment, all of a sudden I was just completely good. Everything was done. My bleeding has stopped. Bleeding for 12 years, by the way. 12 years. Wouldn't stop bleeding for 12 years. And all of a sudden, after touching the edge of Jesus' robe, boom. All done. It's all gone. The problem is now gone. So testimony. Your testimony has power. Whatever your testimony is, do not be afraid to share your testimony. No testimony is weak. No testimony is small. Your testimony is your testimony that the Lord has given to you specifically and you uniquely. My testimony is not the same as yours. It may be similar to someone's, but it's not the exact same. And it may speak to someone else in your life differently than if I share my testimony with someone else. So don't be afraid to share your testimony. If you're given the opportunity, I suggest that you do. And for now, it's not always comfortable to share your testimony, but it is always useful, and you always should, especially when given the chance to, because it can change someone's life for eternity.